Hello, and welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy today's chapter of The Summer Switch by Olivia Julius.
Chapter 6. I woke up tangled in the sheets, Emily's arm draped over me like a warm anchor. For a moment, I almost forgot what had happened, then the swish of lace against my skin reminded me I was still stuck in a little girl's nightgown. Careful not to wake her, I slid out of bed and padded barefoot across the room. My hair felt heavy against my shoulders, and the bow tied into it tugged every time I moved. The closet loomed like a test. I opened the door, bracing myself for whatever frilly horror Abuela had cooked up for today. And found nothing. Just empty shelves and a hollow echo. I groaned under my breath. Perfect! I don't even get pants to reject. I get nothing. Resigned, I headed downstairs in my pink nightgown, the ruffles bouncing with every step. The smell of coffee drifted up from the kitchen, real coffee I couldn't touch now, thanks to my tiny body. Halfway down the stairs, I nearly collided with Michelle. She was scowling, tugging at the sleeves of her light blue pajama set covered in little flowers and ruffles. "Do you see this?" she squeaked. "Ruffles! Everywhere! I can't believe I have to wear this!" I opened my mouth to agree, then she actually looked at me. Her scowl faltered. Because while she was stuck in floral pajamas, I was standing there in a cotton candy pink nightgown with lace trim that practically screamed Princess Tea Party. Michelle blinked, then smirked. "Okay. Never mind. I don't have it that bad." I threw my hands up, the ruffles swishing dramatically. "Oh, bite me!" Michelle snorted with laughter, tugging at her pajama sleeves again. "Face it, Allison, you win! You're officially the girliest!" I groaned and shuffled past her toward the kitchen. Great! Just what every 42-year-old man dreams of hearing! The kitchen smelled like bacon and pancakes by the time the whole house started waking up. One by one, everyone shuffled in, bleary-eyed and ridiculous in their new pajama sets. Sequins, ruffles, plaid, polka dots, it looked less like a family breakfast and more like a sleepover gone horribly wrong. Abuela stood at the stove like a general at war, spatula in one hand, wooden spoon in the other. "Alright, troops!" she barked, flipping pancakes with alarming precision. "Chloe, set the table. Emily, you're on fruit duty. Jenny, start pouring juice. Let's move, people!" The cousins groaned but obeyed, shuffling into their assigned roles. I stepped forward, tugging at my nightgown, trying to sound helpful. "What about me?" Abuela didn't even look up. "You and Michelle can put out the napkins." I blinked. "Napkins? That's it? Little hands, little jobs," she said matter-of-factly, already turning back to the skillet. Beside me, Michelle was struggling to carry a stack of folded napkins bigger than her entire torso. She looked ridiculous in her light blue pajamas, wobbling across the kitchen like a doll that had come to life. "Seriously?" I muttered, grabbing a handful of napkins from her stack. "I'm 42 years old. I can scramble eggs, flip pancakes, make coffee. And I get napkins? Welcome to childhood," Michelle said with a shrug, nearly tripping over her own pajama hem. I slapped the napkins onto the table, scowling. It wasn't that I minded helping. It was that I wanted to actually help, to feel like I was still part of the grown-ups. But in Abuela's eyes, I wasn't Greg anymore. I wasn't the dad, the husband, the man of the house. I was just Allison. 10 years old. Napkin girl. And it grated more than I cared to admit. By the time the table was set, the kitchen looked like a battlefield. Juice cups lined up like soldiers. Plates of bacon and pancakes steaming in the center. Fruit bowls glistening with sliced melon. And Abuela at the head of it all, directing like she'd been born to command a brunch army. We all sat down, the chairs scraping loudly. Michelle immediately had to be boosted into hers again, grumbling the whole way as her feet swung inches from the floor. Chloe plopped down across from me, already looking bored. Emily sat to my left, her sequin pajama top sparkling in the sunlight. Abuela began serving plates, starting with me. 2 pancakes for Allison, she said brightly, sliding the plate in front of me as though I were a guest of honor. With extra syrup? I raised a brow. Just 2? You're 10, she reminded me sweetly. Little stomach, little portion. I scowled, but dug in anyway. The pancakes were fluffy, sweet, and absolutely delicious, a cruel reminder of what I was missing from a proper grown-up stack. I finished the first pancake easily, then started on the second. About halfway through, though, something strange happened. My stomach protested. Not loudly, not painfully, but firmly, like it had decided, nope, that's enough. I sat back, fork dangling in my hand, staring at the half-eaten pancake on my plate. You're not done already, are you? Chloe teased, shoveling forkfuls of fruit into her mouth. I frowned. I think I'm full. The words tasted weird coming out. I couldn't remember the last time 2 pancakes had filled me up. Normally I'd go for 4, maybe even 5 if the bacon was good. But here I was, 10 years old, staring at half a pancake like it was a mountain I couldn't climb. Abuela leaned over with a knowing smile. That's perfectly normal, dear. Smaller body, smaller appetite. I don't have a smaller appetite, I snapped. I'm an adult. I can eat more than this. But even as I said it, my stomach gave a firm nope, rolling unpleasantly at the thought of another bite. Emily smirked into her orange juice. Looks like your body disagrees. Michelle, chewing noisily on a piece of bacon, pointed at me with greasy fingers. Napkin girl can't even finish pancakes. Laughter rippled around the table. I groaned, pushing the plate away. This is ridiculous. I used to be able to eat a steak the size of my head. Now I'm stuffed after 2 pancakes. Abuela patted my hand as though I were 5, not 10. Welcome to childhood, Allison. You'd better get used to it. I slumped in my chair, scowling at my plate. This week was going to be a very long week. The laughter didn't stop with the pancakes. Oh no! It only got worse. Look at her, Jenny said, pointing a fork at me. She's blushing like crazy. I am not blushing, I protested. Yes, you are, Chloe sing-songed, leaning back smugly in her chair. Our little Allison can't even finish her breakfast. I glared. Don't call me little. Well, you are little, she shot back. I'm 12. You're 10. That means I'm the big sister now. I nearly choked on my juice. Excuse me? I'm still your dad. The cousins howled, banging on the table like they were at a comedy club. Michelle laughed so hard she nearly tipped over in her booster seat. Chloe smirked, clearly enjoying herself. Not anymore, you're not. You're my little sister. Face it. I opened my mouth to argue again, but my squeaky 10-year-old voice betrayed me, cracking on the word sister so that it sounded like I was squealing. More laughter erupted. Emily gave me a sympathetic pat on the arm, but even she couldn't hide the twitch of a smile. Oh, this is just great, I muttered, crossing my arms. First I get napkin duty, then I get full after 2 pancakes, and now I'm demoted in the family tree. Chloe leaned in close, eyes glittering with mischief. You're lucky I don't make you clean my room for me, little sis. The cousins roared again, pounding their fists on the table. I slumped lower in my chair, cheeks burning, silently vowing that one way or another, I was going to get through this week with my dignity intact. Somehow. After breakfast, the table looked like a battlefield, syrup drips, crumpled napkins, half-eaten fruit cups, and Michelle's bib tossed dramatically onto the floor like a white flag of surrender. Abuela clapped her hands, instantly commanding the room. Alright, children, time to clean up. Everyone has a job. Groans rose from around the table, but she was already pointing her spoon like a general with a sword. Chloe, you'll wash the dishes. Emily, you dry. Jenny and Emma, sweep the floor. Michelle, pick up your bib and throw it in the laundry. She turned to me last, smiling sweetly. And Allison, you can wipe the table. I froze, staring at her. The table? That's it? She nodded, already turning back to the sink. Yes, dear. A nice, simple job. But, I threw my arms out, nearly knocking over my juice cup. This is my house. Shouldn't I be in charge here? Abuela's eyes twinkled as she looked over her shoulder. Not while you're 10 years old, you're not. The cousins snickered. Chloe smirked over the dishwater. Better listen to Abuela, little sis. You wouldn't want to get grounded in your own house. I groaned, snatching a sponge off the counter. This is ridiculous. I grill steaks in this kitchen, I fix the garbage disposal, Michelle cut me off with a squeaky giggle. You wipe syrup now. My face burned as I scrubbed sticky spots off the table, while Chloe hummed smugly over the sink and Emily stacked clean plates with mechanical precision. I muttered under my breath, 42 years old. Owner of this house. And I get table duty. Abuela's voice floated cheerfully from the stove. Don't forget the corners, Allison. I gritted my teeth and wiped harder. This week was going to test me in ways I never imagined. By the time the table was wiped spotless, my arms ached, my nightgown felt weird, and my patience had worn thinner than the paper napkins I was scrubbing up. I flopped into a chair, scowling as Chloe laughed with the cousins, Michelle paraded around in her two big pajama sleeves, and Emily calmly dried the last dish like she'd been born into this routine. And there was Abuela, humming at the stove as though nothing in the world could be more natural than turning her entire family into children and ordering them around like a kindergarten teacher. It hit me then. She wasn't going to treat me like an adult. Not once. Not all week. I could protest, argue, wave my arms until my nightgown sleeves slipped off my shoulders, it wouldn't matter. To her, I wasn't Greg. I wasn't the man of the house. I was Allison. 10 years old. Napkin girl. Table wiper. And there wasn't a damn thing I could do about it. I slumped lower in the chair, muttering under my breath. This is my house. My house. And somehow, I'm the kid in it. Abuela's voice floated cheerfully from the sink. Sit up straight, dear. You'll ruin your posture. I groaned and banged my head lightly against the table. This week was going to be unbearable.